Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be looking at the world of AI and a potential paradigm shift that's got people talking.
Mhm.
Our focus today is going to be an article from The Atlantic from just last week,
Okay.
December 6th, 2024, titled "The GPT Era is Already Ending," which, as you can guess, suggests some pretty big changes
Yeah,
coming to the world of AI.
for sure.
So before we get into all that, let's make sure that we're all on the same page about how AI, like ChatGPT, currently works. And it's all about prediction, right?
Yeah, that's correct. These large language models, they're essentially sophisticated prediction machines.
Okay.
They analyze massive data sets, identify patterns, and they use those patterns to predict what should come next,
Right.
whether it's the next word in a sentence, the next pixel in an image.
So it's like a super-powered autocomplete that we all use every day on our phones and stuff, but just scaled up massively.
Precisely. And this predictive ability has led to some very impressive results.
Yeah.
However, there's a growing debate about whether this approach is truly indicative of understanding or simply a very clever form of mimicry.
Yeah. I've heard some people refer to these models as stochastic parrots.
Right.
What does that even mean?
So that's a term coined by Emily Gender. She's a prominent AI researcher.
Okay.
And it suggests that these models are essentially mimicking human language without truly grasping the underlying meaning.
Uh-huh.
They're incredibly good at reproducing patterns.
Yeah.
But it's debatable whether they actually understand the concepts they're dealing with.
Okay, so is this whole understanding debate just like semantics?
Yeah.
Or are there real limitations to this prediction-based approach?
Well,
Because the article does give some pretty interesting examples.
absolutely. While some AIs, like Anthropic's Claude,
Okay.
seem to develop internal representations,
Okay.
Claude, for instance, seemingly understood the Golden Gate Bridge,
Hmm.
reacting similarly to descriptions, mentions, and even images of it.
Interesting. So it
And-
had like a
Yes,
concept.
almost like a concept of what the Golden Gate Bridge was.
Right.
But then there are examples like GPT-4,
Hmm.
the latest iteration of ChatGPT, struggling with seemingly simple tasks, like counting the number of R's in the word strawberry.
That's kind of surprising. You would think that something that could write sonnets and code complex programs
Right.
wouldn't have trouble with something so basic.
And that's kind of where we start to see the potential limitations of a purely prediction-based approach.
Okay.
Another example is OpenAI's own video AI Sora,
Right.
which occasionally produces a cat with 3 front legs.
Oh.
If it truly understood the concept of a cat, wouldn't it consistently generate images that adhere to basic feline anatomy?
Yeah, it definitely makes you question how much these models truly understand the information they're processing.
Right.
But that's what makes this new model O1 so intriguing.
Right.
Right? It seems to represent a shift away from pure prediction
Yeah.
towards something more akin to reasoning.
Exactly. Yeah, OpenAI is claiming that O1 marks a significant departure from previous models. They're calling it a new paradigm
Mm-hmm.
that moves beyond prediction and into the realm of reasoning.
Okay, so what does that actually mean? Like, how is reasoning different from prediction in this context?
So think of it like this.
Mm.
While ChatGPT might excel at spitting out text, like a highly advanced autocomplete, O1 takes time to think things through.
Mm.
It explores different paths, evaluates potential solutions, and arrives at a conclusion through a more deliberate process.
So that sounds a lot more like how we as humans solve problems, right? We
Right.
don't just instantly know the answer. We kind of have to like weigh different options, make mistakes, learn from those experiences.
In the article, Mark Chen from OpenAI, he makes a compelling comparison.
Okay.
He says it's like the difference between simply memorizing chess moves versus genuinely understanding chess strategy.
Right.
One is about rote learning. The other requires actual understanding and adaptability.
Yeah.
O1 is designed to be more like the strategic chess player.
Okay, so instead of just like regurgitating information, it's actually trying to figure things out. Is that why they're calling it a reasoning AI?
Yeah, it's about moving beyond pattern recognition to actual problem solving.
Okay.
Imagine O1 being tasked with writing a complex piece of code.
Right.
Instead of just spitting out lines of code based on what it's seen before, it might actually generate multiple solutions, test their efficiency,
Oh, wow.
and then refine its approach based on the results.
Okay.
It's a more iterative and analytical process.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And what does the article say about how well O1 actually performs?
Well, early results suggest that O1 excels in areas that demand this kind of reasoning capability.
Mm-hmm.
It's reportedly outperforming previous models in fields like coding, math, and science, where logical thinking and problem solving are paramount.
So does this mean that we're on the verge of having an AI that can outthink us in every way? Are we all going to be,
Right.
taken over by robots? This is the beginning of the end.
Hold on, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
While O1 is certainly a significant advancement, it's important to remember that we're still in the early stages of development.
Right.
And as with any new technology, there are limitations and potential downsides to consider.
Okay, so maybe no robot overlords just yet.
Not just yet.
But what are some of the limitations of this reasoning approach? If O1 is so great at figuring things out, what are its weaknesses? That's a great question, right? Like every exciting new technology comes with its own set of challenges.
Yeah.
So tell me, what can't O1 do? What are its limitations?
Well, for one, it's not a silver bullet solution to every AI challenge.
Okay.
It still operates on a statistical foundation, meaning its performance is best in areas where there's a vast amount of training data available.
So it's like having a super smart student who excels in subjects that they've studied extensively.
Exactly.
But if you give them something totally new, they might struggle.
Right, and even in areas where it excels O1 can still be thrown off by seemingly irrelevant information. The article mentions a fascinating example where O1 struggles with a simple math problem if the prompt includes extraneous details, like a planned donation of baked goods.
Oh, wow.
It's as if the added information somehow confuses the reasoning process.
That's a bit concerning, isn't it? You would think an AI capable of reasoning wouldn't be tripped up by something so trivial.
Yeah.
Does this suggest that there are fundamental differences between how O1 reasons and how humans think?
It certainly raises some intriguing questions. AI researcher Francois Chollet, he's quoted in the article,
Okay.
notes that while O1 can self-query to refine its use of knowledge,
Okay.
it's still ultimately limited to applying what it already knows.
Okay.
It's not capable of generating truly novel insights or making intuitive leaps the way humans can.
So it's really good at logic and problem solving within its domain of expertise, but maybe not so great at dealing with things that require a more nuanced human-like understanding.
Yeah.
What about subjective concepts? Like, can it grasp things like beauty persuasion or empathy?
That's a key question. These are areas where there isn't a clear-cut right or wrong answer, which makes it difficult to train an AI
Right.
based on purely statistical methods.
Yeah.
Even humans struggle to define those concepts
Yeah.
objectively.
Yeah, for sure. So the article suggests that O1 might actually be more specialized than its predecessors, excelling in logical domains while potentially lagging in areas that require this more nuanced understanding.
Mm.
So we've explored the really exciting capabilities of O1 and some of its limitations. But now I kind of want to dive into the broader implications of all this new approach to AI. Seems to come with a hefty price tag, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. One major implication is the sheer computational cost of this reasoning capability.
Okay.
O1 requires massive amounts of processing power, which translates to a huge energy footprint.
Yeah.
OpenAI is planning data centers that each need the energy of 5 nuclear reactors.
It's mind-boggling to think about, like, enough energy to power almost 3 million homes just for one data center.
And it's not just about the environmental impact.
Right.
This level of computational power requires significant financial investment as well.
Uh-huh.
OpenAI just rolled out a premium tier of ChatGPT access that lets users leverage a more powerful version of O1,
Right.
but it comes at a steep price.
That raises some concerns, doesn't it? If access to this advanced AI is primarily determined by financial resources, we could see a widening digital divide where those with the means have access to increasingly powerful tools while others are left behind.
Absolutely. It's a critical issue to consider.
Yeah.
And it leads to an even bigger question.
Yeah.
Is efficiency even a priority for companies like OpenAI?
Right.
Or are they driven purely by a desire to create ever more powerful machines regardless of the cost?
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the evolving world of AI, it's clear that we're at a really interesting point. A potential paradigm shift from prediction to reasoning is upon us. And while it offers these really exciting possibilities, it also raises important questions about efficiency cost and even the very definition of intelligence.
If AI can already outperform humans in some tasks by brute forcing solutions with immense computing power, how will we define human intelligence in the future? And what will our role be in a world increasingly shaped by machines?
Those are some really big questions that I think we all need to be considering. So, what do you think about where O1 might lead us? Could it be a key to solving some of humanity's greatest challenges, or will it exacerbate existing inequalities? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, keep those neural networks firing, and I'll see you back here soon for another deep dive.